Love that intro. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing tonight? Welcome back. This is CODEX Station. We are doing Comic Character of the Week. As always, I've got my partners in crime with me tonight. I have the man looking for his Chevy, His Royal Highness, the Archduke Kevy. How you doing, buddy?
I
And
couldn't
then,
be better, man. How are
awesome.
you?
I'm doing good. To my right or left, depending on which screen you're looking at, is the man Antonio Banderas. Antonio Bandanas.
Yeah.
Bandana.
He said
J-Dub
he's going to get it
himself.
right. He never does.
I never do. I never do. I always fall. One of these days I will. I am your host, Sal the Slab Guy, and as always, you can find me on Sal's Comic Corner under YouTube on Sal's Comic Corner, or as the Slab Guy 77 on Instagram. But you can find these two guys on the Codex Station. Why don't you hit us up with the Codex Station, Jamie?
Yeah, guys. Check us out at the CodexStation.com. It's your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Get some merch, meet the team, let us know what you like, don't like, and find all of our socials listed at the bottom so that way you guys don't miss out on any of the content that we're putting out for you, because it's always a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. And Archduke Kevy, where can they find you at when you're not here on Codex?
Right on. I created a group over on Facebook and Instagram called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character and we do all sorts of other goodies regarding this geekery that we all know and love. We'd love to have you come on over, check us out, join up, maybe become part of our loving, non-toxic family here.
That is true. I hope you guys join us, because it's a great page to visit and chat and talk about all things comics. It's great. But tonight we are covering the man, the myth, the legend, John Constantine, and we're going to get into all the deets about him. Now, since we are missing our info guy, Dan the Man Kelly, he's probably on Instagram right now, living on Instagram. You know, that's why he can't join us. Well, I am gonna go ahead and give you the intro, so forgive me, because I'm gonna look at some notes that I have put up for this, and let me get those notes. There we go. There we are. John Constantine first appeared in Swamp Thing number 37 of June 1985. He was created by Alan Moore, Steve Buscemi, and John Tuttleben. And in the early appearances of Constantine, he was depicted as a sorcerer of questionable morality. Now, later, as he's been reworked to be more of a working class warlock, occult detective, and a con man who's from Liverpool, and he's stationed in London. He's known for his endless cynicism, deadpan wit, ruthless cunning, and a constant chain smoker. But he's passionate about humanitarian. He's a passionate humanitarian driven by a heartfelt desire to do some good in his life. He was originally a supporting character, played in a pivotal role in the American Gothic Swamp Thing storyline. But then he got his own series called Hellblazer in 1988. So his power set, let me get it down there, we go. His power set, or his abilities, because he really doesn't have powers per se. He has a genius level intellect. He has extensive knowledge of the occult. He's an expert user of magic, telekinesis, necromancy, pyrokinesis, illusion projection, teleportation, chronokinesis. Give you $1 if you guys can figure that one out. And, just for among others. He's an expert tactician, manipulator, master con artist, and an expert detective. So in 1988, he was given his own title, and Hellblazer, and in 1993, he actually moved into the DC universe, and he was in the Vertigo publication at that time, so he wasn't really. He only showed up in like bits and pieces in the DC universe during that time frame. But in 2011, he actually showed up in Brightest Day Aftermath, and then from there on, he got his own series in Justice League Dark, and then was a prominent character in the DC universe. I know that was pretty long, wasn't it?
Well, that was well done, Sal. Very succinct. Thank you.
I'm trying. That
was great.
All right, so first, let's get some business out of the way. Let's talk about our sponsor, Jamie. Why don't you give us the details on that?
Yes, guys. If you guys get a chance to, I highly recommend that you guys go check out W Energy, and that is w.gg to go check them out. Great product, great energy source, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is the cleanest source of energy you can get out there in the market today. It's so much better than those monsters and Red Bulls that you're getting. No jitters, no bad aftertaste. Everything is great about W. We've all had it. We all love it. And right now they also have it where if you guys get the starter pack, it's no longer 2 flavors, it's up to 4 flavors. So
Yep.
check them
Yep.
out.
And I'm drinking the Monkey Madness tonight. That's what
Ooh.
I'm doing tonight.
Awesome.
And don't forget to use that keyword code -X, COD-X to save 10% on your order. And that goes for any order.
Yep.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. All right, guys, if you're a fan of this show, you know the details. We're going to go into different segments. And the first segment up, as always, is what works best for this character. So, Kevin, why don't you kick us off and let us know what works best for you?
All right. So for me, I like it when they portray him as we don't know what he's going to do and the cost of what it is that he actually does. I don't like it where it's like he's going to do this and this and this, and we can rely upon him in order to get us where we need to be. I like it where he's working in a group like Justice League Dark, where even they're like, if we rely upon him, he'll come through, but I don't know if that's going to be for the best or not. Having him with the questionable morality is, I think, the cornerstone of John Constantine, and I think that's where he works best.
Okay. All right, Jamie, how about you?
I honestly think he works best solo when he's just doing his own thing because he has no tethers to him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing what he wants. He gets what he wants. And at the end of the day, it's John Constantine. I mean, you can't have, to me, you can't really have him in that team aspect and have him be himself where everyone's telling him not to be.
Right. Totally agree with that.
Yep, totally agree with that. And actually, that's pretty similar to mine. I think he works best as a solo person because you don't know what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I like it best when he's, forgive me for this one, but he's being an asshole. You know, he doesn't care. He doesn't care who he's talking to. Right. He'll piss off anybody, but he's working his angle all the time. There's always an angle that John Constantine is working, and you never know what that angle is. And I love that. That's the best part for me.
Absolutely.
That's the best. All right. So for our next segment, we're going to list like 3 badass moments that we like with this character. So, Jamie, I have you starting off on this one. So why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Yeah, for the first one, I'm going with Injustice Year 3, where John Constantine puts Superman basically in a sleeping coma. Yep. Superman, for those who don't know, with the Injustice universe, is just going against everything and everyone that he thinks is wronging him. And he's practically unstoppable. He took out the whole Lantern Corps, and John Constantine looked at everybody. It was like, he just took out all the lanterns. I need to do something here. And put him in the sleep coma where in his sleep he saw basically Bruce Wayne kill the Joker. They save Lois, and everything went right for him instead of the alternative of Lois dying. But obviously he gets out of it. But I just thought it was one just to see his powers in that moment and abilities was badass. The next one I got is him tricking Gabriel out of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an amazing moment and badass moment. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there's a lot of stuff behind it that maybe we shouldn't say live on air. But basically, he put self-doubt into Gabriel and made him do something he shouldn't have done. Gabriel then goes back up to heaven. God basically was like, this is not negotiable, and slaps him back down.
Yep, that was great.
And lastly, I have tricking hell out of giving him cancer. So, and curing him of it. So basically, for most of the story, I think it was Hellblazer 42 and on, if I'm not mistaken. He was ridden with lung cancer, trying to find a way out of it, dealing with throughout the whole time. And this is something that I'll get more into in depth later. But he basically tricks the devil for the most part into saying, hey, this contract was no valid and had to be cured of his cancer. He found a loophole and was brought back fine. So I thought those were 3 badass moments. It's hard to really talk about John Constantine in the earlier days because there's so much stuff that we can't really say live on air.
Very true. Very true.
And there's also a lot of like background information that you have to know in order to tell the story accurately, and we just don't have the time to unpack all of that. So
That's also true. That is
Right.
also true. All right, Kevin, why don't you go next?
So my number 3, I think, might be the same as Jamie's. He tricks the triumvirate of hell, which is the 3 ruling demons.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah. So he basically sells he has cancer and he dies, but before he dies, he sells his soul to 3 different demons. And when he gets to hell, they're all like, okay, fine, he's mine. And like the other one's like, no, wait, he's mine. And the third one's like, no, 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 I have the contract right here. And it causes so much disturbance and chaos that even hell isn't used to, that they're like, you know what? We're going to send you back to hell or send you back to Earth without cancer until we figure this out. I just thought that was bloody brilliant.
Nice.
Number 2, I have, so he enters into this contest with Naboo, the helmet of Dr. Fate. And Dr. Fate tricks him into putting his helmet on Constantine to be his new avatar. And Constantine basically sets up a contest between him and Naboo. And for those of you who don't know Naboo, Naboo is an ancient entity, sorcerer, or agent of order, very powerful. And so Constantine is fighting him, and he summons Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, to arbitrate between the two of them. And Naboo does like, I did all of this that helped out humanity, and Constantine counters you with like, yeah, but how many people have you tricked and manipulated in order to do that? And eventually Anubis sides with John Constantine. John Constantine wins, and he kills Naboo. And it ends up being all a big trick and an illusion, and it never really happened because it's John Constantine. And but Naboo, being a Lord of Order, says, we made an agreement. I agreed to it. I will die to honor my bargain. So that was bloody brilliant.
Mm.
And the number 1 I have is he actually tricks God.
Yep, I have this one as well.
Right?
Good choice.
Into returning him to Earth, because he's like, yes, I'm the bastard and I got sent to hell after I died and I'm in hell, but hell has a different time thing. Time is pretty much meaningless here in hell. And give me about 500 years and I will rule this place. I'm going to be taking over hell. And even God's like, we can't have that. And so he returns him to Earth alive again. So I thought that was amazing. What do you got, Sal?
So I'll start off with that one because that was my main choice one. I love that one. That was great. He said, hell's in chaos. It'll take them, forever to actually mount an offensive against heaven. But if I was in hell 500 years, I'm ruling it and I'm coming here. And so it's like, okay, we're gonna send you back to Earth then.
I thought that was so funny.
So my second one I have. It's a little bit drawn out, but he's trying to save this kid, and he actually employs another demon to help him save this kid. The demon's name is Baru. I can't pronounce that. And as his payment for helping John Constantine free this kid, he wants the kid for himself, and he's like, well, that's not going to happen. He summons another demon up at this Aztec death god to counter him. And when this Baru gets hurt, he actually, retreats inside the girl, like he's trying to not possess her, but just hide out inside the girl. And John Constantine's like, I could just kill this kid right now, and you'll be and you're and then dead along with it. And they're like, you're not going to do that because that's blah blah blah, too much of a risk. And he's like, are you really to take that chance? And the demon's like, no, I'm not going to take that chance. And then vacates the girl and leaves. So it was pretty funny. It was like going to threatening a bluff to kill a little girl just to kill a demon. That's pretty badass to me.
And the other, excuse me, sorry.
That's all right.
What makes it even more sick is the fact that that little girl was the daughter of his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he's willing to go there is like, holy crap.
Right, exactly. So I have another one. This is one of his friends, Richie, and Richie actually gets plugged in. This is way back. This is in Hellblazer #7. So this is back when the virtual world, you could enter the virtual world type situation, and Richie enters the virtual world to do something, and he told Constantine to protect his body while he was doing this. Well, John Constantine fails in this mission, and it sets off a magical trap that combusts Richie's body, and while he's still stuck in the virtual universe. But instead of trying to come up with a solution, John Constantine just pulls the plug on the simulation and walks away. So it's like, oh man, that's just cold. That's really absolutely cold. Yeah. So that's what I have for my 3 badass moments.
I love that.
So do you have what do you want to add to that?
No, I just said I love this guy.
Oh yeah, I know. And the fact that you don't know if he's actually really going to do it or not is really that's the real part of it. For like, the regular superhero genres, you're like, they can bluff, and you're like, yeah, he's bluffing, but maybe he's not lying, but he's bluffing. And then you get to John Constantine, it's like, oh no, he's not bluffing. He'll really do that. He'll really do that.
Right.
Okay, so up next for our next segment is critiques and criticisms and why they think this character sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go first on this one. I'm actually, I got a pretty limited list on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the angle of him being pretty much a jerk and an asshole to any demon or anybody out there to work his angle. I don't think he works well as part of a team. I don't think, because he doesn't play well with others, number one.
Right.
Number two, I don't think the morality or lack of morality really works well with others. So I can't really putting him on a team unless it's a team of Constantines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think would work.
Right.
So that's my biggest critique I have, and I'll go a little bit into another direction with this. I like it when he's drawn rough, like a rough drawing, not the clean cut shaven from the New 52. The smooth look that New 52 gave him.
Right.
I like him more back in the Hellblazer days where he just looked rough. He looked like he was hungover. He looked like he was, working on 3 hours of sleep in the last 4 days. So he's got the cigarette in his hand, and you get to see him like that type of thing. I like that look, but I don't like the New 52 version of it.
Right?
It's just look
fair.
So
yeah.
All right, that's what I have. So Kevin, what do you got for critiques?
When they portray him anywhere near noble, is he a good guy? Yes, but I don't like it when he's like, I'm gonna do the right thing. I mean, yes, he's kind of doing the right thing. I like it a little bit nebulous, a little bit ambiguous as to where his moral compass lies.
Yeah,
he is basically what Doctor Strange would be if there were actual consequences in Marvel.
Right.
So I like it when they portray him as like not so much of a good guy. When they make him like, I'm gonna do the right thing, it doesn't work for the character, I don't think. So
that's fair.
That's fair. What do you think about that there, Jamie?
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with Sal on the team aspect because it just does not fit. He's too tethered. He can't be himself. He's too held back and not unleashed to me. I do agree with the New 52 version as well because of the fact that from that point on they tried to like ban the cigarettes and take away the
Yeah.
drinking from him, and that's just not the character.
Yeah.
But overall, it's the aspect of you can't have him tethered to one thing, because then you
Agreed.
lose all the uniqueness of who John Constantine is. And
Yes.
you could see the difference night and day between those two different series. Like if you look at Hellblazer and then you look at like New 52, Justice League Dark type stuff,
Yeah.
it's not even close
Right.
to the character of what we had.
Right. It's
I agree with that.
it's not dark enough. I mean,
And there's dark in the title.
despite the name, right? It's just not horror. He's a character that is ensconced in horror, and if you don't lean into that, it's not the same character.
Yeah. No,
Totally
it's
agree.
definitely not the same character at all.
Yep. Okay. Very good, guys. All right, on to our next segment, top covers.
Woo.
These are 3 covers from any part of Constantine. Doesn't even matter if it's not his storyline or not. If it has him on it, we love that badass cover. We're going to show it to you. So, Kevin, why don't you kick us off and show us your badass covers?
All right. We got the 30th anniversary Hellblazer. I'm not sure which one this is, but that just screams John Constantine. Trench coat, cigarette, looking like he's like, how am I going to mess this dude over? Look at his face. Then we got Hellblazer number 123. Is that 123 or 128? Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. It just shows the well, it looks like what is Vietnam in the glass that he's drinking, which I don't think is exactly John Constantine, but it just kind of speaks of the horror and the trauma and the PTSD that the man himself deals with every day that he has to wake up. It's like, oh, I'm still not dead, and I'm still having to deal with life.
I'm still not dead.
Pretty much. And then we got, I think this is Hellblazer number 1, and it is just the perfect Constantine cover. It has him. It has the building that, I don't know, I associate with the mental asylum that is established in his past. It has the pentagram. It's the ultimate John Constantine cover, in my opinion. Those were my 3.
Awesome covers. All right, Jamie, let's see yours.
All right. So for me, I got Hellblazer starting off with 290. And I don't know why. I just love this cover. It's Constantine being buried with all of his cigarettes and liquor, looking just morbid and grotesque. To me, it's the epitome of what you look at when you think of John Constantine. Next up, I have the final issue, which is Hellblazer 300. And to me, it kind of reminds me of that old Spider-Man issue where it's like Spider-Man No More.
Right.
Where he throws it in trash, but this is just the cigarette on the curb walking away from it. And it's just, to me, it's the perfect final cover.
I like it. I like that one. That's good.
Lastly, I got Hellblazer 58, and to be honest with you, every time I see this like issue, it just reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know why. Like maybe it's just the heads and everything, but it just gives that feel to it, and I just dig it so much. And plus, it's Garthinos. What are you gonna do?
That's awesome. I love it. Kind of looks almost like creepy horror type too.
Yeah. All right, Sal. Let's see what you got, bud.
All right. So the first one up is the Hellraiser Bloodlines. I just love this cover because he just looks like he's killed a demon, but not by exercising it or doing something else. It looks like he bludgeoned it to death with the cross. So, I guess when some things don't work out, he improvised, and he's there smoking a cigarette or about to like take a drag off a cigarette, like job well done type of thing. I don't know. I love that. He's all trench coat covered in blood and everything. That's great. Next one up is actually Swamp Thing 3. This is a Brightest Day Aftermath. It's the search for Swamp Thing. So this is Brightest Day Aftermath number 3. And you got Dead Man, you got Swamp Thing, but it looks like Swamp Thing is like absorbing him in to himself. And that's just a pretty pretty badass cover to me. I like that. Dead Man looks like he's trying to stop it, but of course, he can't really do anything about it.
And I love the
So
fact that
I did like this cover.
I love the fact that the Black Lantern symbol is up. And was that the Black Lantern or was that the White Lantern?
No, that's the White Lantern one.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
the White
Brightest
Lantern.
Day. This is the Brightest Day storyline. So
I love the fact that they're integrating that into the cover there. That's very cool.
yeah, that is pretty cool. Love it. All right, for my last one, I have Hellblazer Family Man storyline, and it looks like he's just coming out of a rubble church or something like that, and he's smoking the cigarette, and walking away from the situation, like he's almost contemplating, like, how did I f that up, type of thing.
like he just had a long day and he's just like, oh, thank God this is over.
Right, just like, let me just get home with it, have a drink and call it a night, type of thing. So that's why I like this cover, and I like the way this cover is actually drawn too. He's a little rough around the edges, type of thing, and he just looks like he's just had it. He's
we've all been
the
there.
Day type thing. Yeah, we're checked out for the day. We're done. Clocked out.
Yeah.
So, all right, those are my 3 covers. But you know where we can find some excellent covers like these and much, much more?
Where?
Oh my gosh. Why, guys, you don't know by now? How many times we've done this segment? You guys got to go over to heroescornercomics.com and check out their site. They have a great list of back issues, slabs, store exclusives. You can even set up a pull list with them. If you do buy anything through the website on checkout, use the code word CODEX, that's CODEX, no hyphen, and you can save 20% on that order. They're good people. They pack really well with their stuff, and they ship out pretty fast. And their open lines of communication are great. You can always talk to them, try to find an issue, or you have an issue with something else. They're willing to 100% work with you about things. They're great people, and you should check it out.
And they might even have some leftovers after Sal's done with them. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, there's no more. Sorry, folks. Just so you know, there's no more Venom issues.
It's all him.
Just move on.
Just move on. We weren't here, but don't forget they also have the Codex bundle. If you guys check that out, it's 3 Hero Corner Comics exclusives for $30. And yes, the code word does work on that as well.
Yep. Thank you, Jamie. I forgot about that part. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
All right. So on to our next segment, which is essential readings for this character. These are 3 readings we've all picked out that we like really much and think you should check out. If you've never read the character or never really know the character, these are suggested readings that we think you should read. So, Jamie, why don't you kick us off with that one?
All right. So for me, the first one I got up is Haunted. And I'm going to go quick with these just so people can get an idea like I normally do. This story takes place after John Constantine's ex passes away. And the basic moral of this story is not for him to seek to avenge her death or anything like that, but it's to make sure she's taken care of in the afterlife rather than tortured or going through more than she needs to. The second one I got up is Fear and Loathing. This is, to me, the epitome of what you look at when you look at John Constantine, the storyline. His life's just falling apart. Everything's in shambles. Everything he touches or does just crumbles in his hands, essentially. And I think this is the way John Constantine needs to be portrayed throughout all aspects of media.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I got Dangerous Habits. This is something that I kind of touched on earlier. This is the storyline where he gets lung cancer. And more than not, this is the story that I think people should check out, because if you've seen the Keanu Reeves version of Constantine, the movie, this is what that story is based around. This is what the forefront of it. This is one of the more popular storylines they go by, and that's why they used it for that screenwriting. So those are my 3 to check out. I think all of them are fantastic in their own way. So yeah, that's my recommended reading for this.
Awesome. Good choices. All right, Kevin, what's about you? What do you got?
I have, let's see, how do we organize this? Rake at the Gates of Hell, which is Hellblazer number 78 to 83. I'm just going to go through them really quick here, like Jamie. Do out of season. That got smudged off. And All of His Engines, which is a 128-page graphic novel. Now, all of these are I picked all of these because a lot of these were integrated into storylines that were used in the animated series and the in the short-lived Constantine series that was on the
CW?
the
Oh,
CW.
WB.
I
Yeah,
think
CW.
you're right, the CW. And all of these are ones that have been kind of out there in the media. But if you want the original way to go, unfiltered versions of those stories, which I highly recommend that you do, you go with these. Rake of the Gates of Hell, Out of Season, and all of its engines. All of these are available as graphic novels or trade paperbacks. You can get them pretty much anywhere. You just got to be prepared for a little bit of messed up storyline in these if you're used to the more filtered versions that you've seen on the shows and other media. So those are my three.
Nice.
All
Nice.
right.
Good ones.
Sal, what do you have for us?
All right. So I have Going Down, which is Constantine the Hellblazer, number 1. Going Down is a storyline. I forget how many issues it covers, but this was a great story about. It's like almost like a beginning story, but it has. It's like where the ghosts that haunt him are actually being murdered. So it's like the dead are being killed again. And once they're killed the second time, that's it. There's no afterlife after that, and he has to explore this and find out what's going on. So it was a good series with that. And then I have next up is Original Sins. This is also a Hellblazer Volume 1. This was a good one because this actually does a lot of at least flashbacks or tales from his early years of kind of being this sorcerer or warlock or what have you, con man. Anyhow, the story follows him where he's fixing supernatural messes, he's fighting demons, he's betraying friends, he invents the birth of the Antichrist. It's classic Constantine from the get-go, and it really should, if you don't know anything about the character, probably start with this one first, because I think this one actually does give you the setup to where he's what the character is today. And then lastly, I have The Spark and the Flame. This is from the New 52. And even though I don't care for the artwork, this was still a good story because there's, it's a simple story. You would say he's stopping a person or an evil cult from grabbing unimaginable power. And at numerous points in the story where you think he's failing, all of a sudden he pulls a victory out of it. And, it makes that win even sweeter, that type of thing. And there's so much about the story, and there's a lot of interesting things that actually are brought about with this story. They introduced that fans of the arcane might animals are used to prevent divination, and other dimensions reside under the normal world, so they kind of show that effects, which was pretty cool. So this was definitely one to check out. It's a newer one. It collects Constantine's number 1 through 6. So that's definitely what you have to check out. That
Awesome.
Yeah, no, great picks all the way around.
Definitely. All right, so now let's move on to our next segment, which is the best writer and artist that we have for him. Now, these are artists and authors throughout the years of Constantine, no matter where he's been at or how he was drawn. If you think of Constantine, these are the guys that you go to. So, Kevin, why don't you give us the ones you like best on this?
All right. For me, it's a tie between Garth Ennis and Neil Gaiman. Huge fan of both of those guys, and they both had really tremendous runs on Hellblazer. So both of those are great. And my artist, I'm a huge fan of Steve Dillon. I loved his run on Constantine. It wasn't as rough as I like it, like you said, Sal, but it was still kind of gritty enough to fit perfectly for me. So those are my 2 or 3 choices.
That's all right.
You're an artist, so that's
all right.
mine. How about you, Jamie? What do you think?
Yeah, I got to go with for writer Garth Ennis. I think that when you think of Constantine, that's the epitome of it.
Mhm.
One of the greatest runs ever, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And then for my artist, I'm going with Sean Phillips. I don't think anyone ever really drew him better than what Sean
Mhm.
Phillips did, at least in my eyes.
That's fair.
No, that's
I
fair.
agree.
That's a good choice. That's a good
Yes,
choice.
it is.
Sale.
All right, so I'm gonna go on out of the limb and be somewhat different. And for my
Ooh.
best writer, I'm going to go with Garth Ennis.
Biz-
Oh, we were
Kevin
all
and I
happy
are
for a
actually,
second.
Bizarre.
yeah,
Bizarre. I didn't see that coming at all.
I know. Actually, Kevin, you and I are the same on this one because Neil Gaiman was a close second for me as well.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
we're like minds on that one. However,
Simpatico.
artist is completely different. I went with John Ridgway.
Oh
He
yeah.
drew the earlier ones, and he was the one that did the rough
Yes.
drawings of John Constantine, which I like the best.
I agree. That one was a close second for me as well.
Very good.
So
Good
excellent.
choices, guys. Good
Yeah,
choices.
seriously.
All right. I can't
Very
believe
cool.
we actually did this quick. My God. We're
Yeah.
under the hour.
That's what happens when Dan's not here. We get done.
Jeez, don't make fun of Dan. Dan loves to
Dan,
pontificate about
Dan
this.
adds the other 30 minutes into the segment.
Love you, buddy.
Well, while we got a few minutes here, do you want to add any last thoughts? Any honorable mentions? Anything else that we read or liked about the character or think we should mention here?
If I had to bring something up, I would bring up if anyone wants to see Constantine be Constantine and do what he does, check out Justice League Apocalypse War.
Ooh, yeah,
Animated
the
series.
animated one.
I know it's not in the comic-based format, but anime series-wise, I think that was the thing that really pushed me on my limits of John Constantine.
Yep.
One of
Yep.
mine was in Books of Magic, where Tim Hunter ends up in this like bar with a bunch of like evil wizards and demons, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna rip this dude to shreds." And John Constantine just walks up and goes, "All right, this guy's mine. I'm walking out." And they're like, "Who do you? We're gonna tear you apart. You have no power." And John Constantine's like, "Yeah, you really don't like
Yeah.
testing that?" And they're all like,
Yeah, like, okay, we're done. No, we're good. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you very much.
Epitome of Constantine right there.
Mhm.
But let me ask you, what would you do right now with Constantine? Like, he's kind of floating around. He's not really in or doing anything in any of the DC comics runs. What would you do with the character right now if it was up to you?
Bring him back to basics.
Yep.
Bring him back in his own solo series. Give him
Right.
something that's away from the continuity. If you want to tie it in with adding a guest onto an issue or two arc, that's fine. But don't bring in too many of them. Bring in somebody like I would run Etrigan the Demon and him simultaneously side by side at the same time and have them cross once and then leave it alone.
So
Yeah.
you would do a Hellblazer Volume 2 under the black label of DC?
Basically, but essentially more of bring back the original Hellblazer rather than the Vertigo version and style and art form than what we got now.
Hell yeah, that's absolutely fair, and I
I like
totally
that.
agree with you. Perfect. So
I want to see more of him like working a storyline. Let's say like demons are trying to evade, and he's just like stopping at every point, but it's all like under the radar. Every other superhero, like he would run into the Justice League and be like, "I'm putting up these glyphs," and then he would leave, and then like they're like, "What the hell's going on with this guy?" And then he would see like in his storyline where he's battling all these demons, to prevent them from invading, the plane of Earth type thing, and no one else knows what the hell is going on. That's what I would like to see.
That would be fun. Yeah,
that's what I like to see. And definitely, with the crossing of Etrigan, I would definitely do that. And I would love to see more Swamp Thing, because I read Swamp Thing Green Hell. And I love that. That was a great Black Label story. If you haven't read Green Hell, I'm surprised that didn't make my list there, but it was more of a Swamp Thing story than Constantine. But anyhow.
Speaking of Etrigan, I think it would be fun to just have Jason Blood and John just get into a full-blown like yelling match with one another. I'll definitely include that in the story. I think that'd be really
Right.
fun.
I'd buy that one.
Right.
I'd buy that one. All right,
Very
guys.
cool.
Then I think we are done then for this character, comic character of the week. We've done
Woo.
John Constantine. Good choices, guys. Good readings, good covers as always, and good criticisms and scenarios that work best. Love it. All around good show. All right. So once again, I'm your host, Sal, Slab Guy. You can always find me on Sal's Comic Corner when I'm not here on the Codex station. And I'm also on Instagram as Slab Guy 77. All right. Since Dan's not here, my other partner in crime is Archduke Kevin. Where can they find you, buddy?
Hey guys, once again, I created a group over on Facebook and Instagram called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character and all sorts of other goodies regarding this geekery that we all know and love. We would cherish the opportunity for you guys to come on over, check us out, and become part of our non-toxic interwebs family. And with
Definitely.
that, Jamie, what's up?
All right, you know what I'm about to say, guys. Go check out the CodexStation.com. It's your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Get some merch, meet the team, let us know what you like, don't like, and at the very bottom, find all of our socials so you guys don't miss out on any of the content that we are putting out for you. And big announcement time. For those that don't know, we are having a 1,000 subscriber giveaway for YouTube. Enter in. All you have to do is subscribe, show us that you subscribe with a screenshot, and possibly show us that you are following, or wherever else on another social media to enter in. We will be having a promo video for that and what you guys will be getting, because it is a lot from our team. So go
Definitely.
subscribe if you haven't over on YouTube. Go
It's
now.
gonna
Don't
be
stop sitting here.
it's gonna be huge.
Show's over.
Come on, get
Go.
huge.
Go subscribe.
The show's done. Go.
Yeah.
Go now.
All
Do
right.
it now. Go to the
We will
chopper.
see
Do it
all of
now.
you guys in the next one.
Take care, folks.